thinking, in approach and storytelling and form. And Black Bear is all that and more. We were extremely surprised and enamored by the story, and we're so glad that the filmmaker's still here with us. Please help me welcome to the stage the director of Black Bear, Lawrence Levine.
Can you hear me? My wife told me she couldn't hear me on. I need to lean in until I turn on. Thanks everyone for being here. It really means the world to me. I just want to thank you guys and Sundance for programming the movie. It's an overwhelming honor to be here. And I'll be back when the movie's over to discuss the film with you. Thanks again.
You've been on sets for many, many years. How much, when writing the script, how much of your own experiences and things you've lived through influence the stories?
A lot. A lot. My wife is a filmmaker and an actress, and Aubrey's partner is also a director and writer. So we started talking about what those dynamics are like, and the movie kind of came from those conversations. So a lot, obviously it's heightened, and these specific things haven't happened. It's not autobiographical exactly, but it's definitely influenced by my experiences on set for sure.
So you know Aubrey, and when you were writing this, did you have her in mind? And what about the rest of the cast? How did they start falling into place?
I had Aubrey in mind when I wrote it, and we met on the set. Well, we knew each other, but we kind of got to know each other a little better on the set of Easy, the Joe Swanberg show, which I acted in with her. And I think through those conversations we started talking about maybe working together, and so the script was, I had her in mind when I wrote it. And then when I was done, the exact other two people I wanted ended up being in the movie. Yeah, so Chris and Sarah were my first choices for the other parts. Yeah, which is rare that happens. It was really cool.
There's a sense of intimacy set from this house. Do you want to talk about how you created that intensity and why this place specifically why did you choose this place?
This house was like the bane of my existence. It was the hardest place to shoot in. But when I watch it now, I'm glad I did anyway, because there's something I think so beautiful and magical about the house, and I think it looks so great on screen. It was off the grid, solar powered house, which would have been fine if the solar power system had been serviced in the last 20 years, but it had not. So the people who rented it to us assured us that it was great and there was more than enough power, but we had blackouts every day. Every day I lost an hour or 2 hours to blackouts. And when you're shooting all real night in the summer, you only have 8 hours to begin with because there's only 8 hours of night. So it made an already frantic and rushed shoot even more so. Also, there was no Wi-Fi. There was no cell service. It was 7 miles off, like down a gravel road. Made it pretty hard to transport equipment and people. It was not user-friendly. And the town itself was like 7 hours from New York. So it was all very remote. And no one else was really around. That's what created the intimacy, if you want to call it that.
Well, there were so many people on set. How big was your crew? Because with all the actor crew and your own crew, it seems like the spaces might have been even smaller than what it seemed.
No, the house was very big. I mean, I think the fact that we really didn't do anything else besides make this movie, so and the movie was so frantically shot. We just really didn't have a lot of time, so it just created a really intense energy that I think shows on screen. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Was there an evolution in complexity with the characters? Did you ever play with them and be less dynamic?
Not really. I mean, I think there was a level of complexity to my work that took a jump. Like when I wrote a screenplay for my wife, Well, actually, it was her idea for a story, and we kind of hashed out the story together, and then I wrote the script. And that was a big leap for me creatively. She really inspired me to like do riskier, more adventurous things with my writing. So this, and I don't think I would have been able to write this movie if it hadn't been for that experience with her. So that there was a leap in complexity, I think, from my previous work, but not necessarily like any more than is normal when you're working things out with actors. I mean, you have conversations about deepening, you know, the complex depths of the character. I really wanted to create a movie that was not definitive or pat. There's no, I guess if I had to say one takeaway, for me it was it's about the kind of healing or therapeutic power of creativity, and that even though dark things happen to you in your life is filled with great pain, you can turn it around into something positive, or you can process it through art, or even just simply sharing your feelings with people, which art is a form of doing. To me, it's like, you wouldn't necessarily, I don't know if it's perfectly obvious, but to me that's what the movie's about. It's about channeling darkness and negativity into something more productive. No, it was a lot longer, and the initial assembly of this movie was a lot longer. And I like really indulgent films. Like Cassavetes is my hero, and I love the 2-hour 45-minute version of this movie. But I knew that I had to get it down, cut it by an hour. So that was hard. But the script, no, not at all. I mean, I think in some ways it was helpful for Chris. See, we shot the first part. First, we shot the movie basically chronologically, and I think Chris ended up using a lot of my mannerisms. I realized when I got up here and stood on stage, I was like doing this whole thing, and so he like stole a lot of my mannerisms, and so I think it was actually helpful for him to watch me do that. And then the whole looks thing, that was not in the original script. That was something that he added because I was, unfortunately, like I said, this movie was impossibly fast to shoot. So the people who got the brunt of my annoyance were the people doing the looks, because that's like the last thing before we got to be shooting. And I just, to me, makeup's like the least important thing. I think it's a vanity thing for the actors. When I go on set, I don't wear makeup. When I act in movies, I don't wear makeup, and I just like have to stand for it. But I do understand it's actually totally important. And so they ended up getting the brunt of my annoyance, you know. So Chris stole that and put it in the movie. I thought it was very funny.
There was a hand over here. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, all my movies I've written just to be as small as possible. I'd really like to have to stop doing that someday. If there's anyone out there who can help, please, yeah. So I wrote it. I was just like, one location, it'll be cheap. I'll be able to make it.
So the last question, yes, you all the way in the back.
What was the significance of the bear, the black bear?
When, you know, it's funny, like, when people ask what the symbols mean, I always wonder if it makes the movie worse for me to tell you, but you don't think it will be, huh? You don't think it'll make it worse?
No, I have my own idea, but I just want to know.
Well, I don't want to ruin your idea, it's totally valid. What's your idea?
What's your?
Tell me yours.
Well, briefly tell me yours. You don't need to like be a thesis, but like just the gist.
The animal in all of us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Or all the dark stuff in our subconscious, all the dark impulses that we have, our shadow self, and like it just it represents the dark forces of nature, the things that we are trying to. Yeah. Or it can represent doom. It can represent a confrontation with all the darkness of our life. You know, that kind of thing.
I feel like we could talk about this for many hours, but we have to go. But please help me thank Larry Levine for being here. I encourage everyone to continue to
Eric from myoncinema.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.